Admiral Kira Patel stood motionless before the quantum display aboard the EDF Hyperion, her weathered features illuminated by the holographic representation of Earth's outer defense grid. 20 years of service had taught her to trust her instincts, and right now, every fiber of her being screamed danger. Admiral, quantum sensors are picking up gravitational anomalies in the Kuiper belt, Lieutenant James Chen reported, his fingers dancing across the neural interface. Pattern suggests multiple vessels dropping out of fold space. Numbers, Patel's voice remained steady, though her hand unconsciously tightened on the command rail. Initial readings suggest over 300 signatures, ma'am, largest vessels measuring approximately 15 kilometers in length. The bridge fell silent. Humanity had encountered alien civilizations before, but nothing of this scale. The closest observation posts were already transmitting real-time data, revealing massive biomechanical vessels that seemed to absorb light rather than reflect it. Message from Fleet Command, Communications Officer Raj Kumar announced. They're mobilizing the Artemis Defense Network. The quantum barrier grid is charging. Patel nodded, her mind already formulating strategies. The Earth Defense Force had prepared for this day, but theory and reality were often vastly different beasts. Deploy Sentinel drones, full-spectrum analysis. I want to know everything about these vessels before they reach Mars orbit. The alien fleet's approach was methodical, their formation suggesting both military precision and absolute confidence. As data streamed in, Tactical Officer Commander Diana Wells highlighted several concerning details. Their hull composition is unlike anything we've encountered, Wells reported. Some form of living metal that appears to regenerate. Energy readings suggest weapons systems that could rival our Nova-class destroyers. But they don't know about the quantum inverters, Patel mused, allowing herself a slight smile. Humanity's greatest breakthrough in defensive technology remained their most closely guarded secret. The first contact transmission arrived exactly as their visitors crossed Saturn's orbit. The message displayed across every screen on the bridge, a visual representation of what appeared to be their leader, a towering figure with iridescent scales and multiple sets of eyes arranged in a geometric pattern. People of Earth, I am Supreme Overlord Nexus of the Zoraxian Empire. Your world has been chosen for ascension into our collective. Resistance is unnecessary. Accept our dominion and your species will be preserved. Patel exchanged glances with her senior staff. The same old story, another would-be conqueror underestimating humanity's resolve. Open a channel, she ordered. This is Admiral Kira Patel of the Earth Defense Force. Your presence in our solar system violates multiple interstellar treaties. Withdraw immediately, or we will be forced to respond. The alien leader's response was immediate and dismissive. Your primitive species has no concept of true power. Our empire spans galaxies. We have devoured civilizations far more advanced than yours. You have one planetary rotation to surrender. Patel cut the transmission with a gesture. Battle stations. Deploy the fleet in Formation Delta. Activate quantum inverters across all defensive platforms. The Hyperion's crew moved with practiced efficiency as klaxons sounded throughout the ship. Across the solar system, humanity's true military might emerge from its carefully maintained camouflage. Stealth fields dropped, revealing thousands of automated defense platforms and hundreds of warships hidden in plain sight. They're launching fighter craft, Chen reported, energy weapons charging across their fleet. Let them come, Patel said calmly. Initiate Protocol Prometheus. Throughout the fleet, quantum inverters hummed to life, humanity's answer to overwhelming force. These devices didn't just defend against energy weapons. They turned an enemy's power against them, creating localized pockets of inverted space-time that could tear even the largest ships apart. The first wave of Zoraxian fighters accelerated toward Earth's defenses, their weapons blazing with exotic energy. But as their attacks reached the quantum barrier grid, something unexpected happened. The energy beams twisted, folded, and reversed course, creating a cascade of destruction through their own ranks. Multiple hostile craft destroyed, Wells announced. Their main fleet is adjusting formation. They appear to be confused by our defensive capabilities. They should be, Patel replied. Send the following message to all Earth forces. Operation Silent Strike is now in effect. Show them why humanity isn't just another conquest. As the words left her lips, hundreds of quantum torpedoes launched from Earth's defense platforms, their warheads designed to create artificial singularities that could bypass any known shielding technology. The first phase of humanity's counterattack had begun, and the Zoraxian Empire was about to learn a costly lesson about underestimating their intended prey. Lieutenant Commander Marcus Santos crouched in the maintenance shaft of Lunar Base Alpha, his neural implants detecting unusual data patterns in the base's quantum network. After the initial engagement with the Zoraxian fleet, something hadn't felt right about their retreat. It had been too quick, too clean. "Network scan complete," whispered his AI assistant, Arya, through his neural link. "Detecting quantum irregularities in Section 7. Pattern matches suspected Zoraxian infiltration protocols." Santos moved silently through the shaft, his photoreactive suit adapting to the shadows. 3 weeks of tracking ghost signals had led to this moment. While Admiral Patel and the fleet maintained their vigilant watch above, he had been following a hunch that their enemies had left something behind. "Base Commander Joe, this is Santos," he subvocalized. "I'm tracking anomalous signals in the quantum core. Request permission to initiate containment protocols." "Granted," Joe's voice crackled in his mind. "But tread carefully, Commander. If you're right about Zoraxian quantum infiltrators, we can't risk them detecting our countermeasures." Santos reached the quantum core's access chamber, where massive processors maintained the base's defensive systems. To the naked eye, everything appeared normal, but his enhanced senses detected microscopic distortions in the air, signs of active camouflage technology. "Arya, initiate quantum resonance scan, silent mode." The results confirmed his worst fears. Hidden within the base's quantum network were dormant programs, sophisticated enough to bypass standard security but bearing the distinct signatures of Zoraxian code. The initial attack had been a feint. The real invasion was meant to come from within. "Commander Joe, we have confirmation. The entire lunar defense network is compromised. They've inserted quantum viruses that could disable our planetary shields on command." "Can you purge them?" "Not without alerting them to our discovery, but I have another idea." Santos began accessing the quantum core through his neural interface, his enhanced mind processing the complex calculations needed for what he was about to attempt. "Arya, remember that quantum entanglement trick we theorized? Time to test it." His AI assistant's response carried a note of concern. "The probability of success is only 47.3%. A failed attempt could alert the enemy to our detection." "Sometimes you have to roll the dice," Santos muttered, his fingers moving across the holographic interface as he initiated his countermeasure program. Instead of attempting to destroy the Zoraxian infiltrators, Santos began subtly altering their quantum states, creating a hidden network of entangled particles that would allow Earth's forces to track every piece of infected code in their systems. More importantly, it would let them feed false data to the enemy. "Commander Joe, quantum entanglement network established. We can now monitor their entire infiltration system without detection, requesting permission to begin Operation Mirror Lake." Joe's response was immediate. "Granted, Admiral Patel needs to know about this. Our defense strategy will need to be completely revised." Over the next several hours, Santos worked tirelessly, mapping the extent of the Zoraxian infiltration. The alien code had spread further than anyone had anticipated, reaching into defense systems across the solar system. But now, humanity had a way to turn this invasion against its creators. "Arya, send encrypted quantum bursts to Admiral Patel. Include full technical specifications of the infiltration network and my proposed countermeasure strategy." As the message was transmitted, Santos allowed himself a grim smile. The Zoraxians thought they were watching Earth's defenses through their quantum viruses, but now humanity was watching them back. Every bit of data they stole would be carefully crafted misinformation. Multiple quantum signatures detected at the edge of the system, Arya reported suddenly. The Zoraxian fleet is returning. Right on schedule, Santos replied, making final adjustments to his countermeasure program. They think their infiltrators have weakened our defenses. Time to show them how humanity handles deception. Admiral Patel's response came through his neural link. Operation Mirror Lake is approved. All Earth defense forces are switching to quantum-secured channels. Let them think they've succeeded, Commander. When they strike, they'll find our weakness is our greatest strength. As the Zoraxian fleet approached, their confidence bolstered by the false intelligence fed through their quantum infiltrators, humanity's forces prepared for the real battle. Santos had transformed an almost devastating infiltration into an unprecedented opportunity. The web of deception was complete, but this time, the hunters had become the hunted. General Olivia Winters watched from the bridge of the EDF Prometheus as the massive Zoraxian fleet emerged from Fold space. Their battleships blotted out the stars, their living metal hulls writhing with alien energy. But this time, Earth was ready. All ships maintain radio silence. Stick to quantum-encrypted channels only, she ordered through the secure neural network. Let them think their infiltration is working. The Zoraxian fleet moved exactly as Lieutenant Commander Santos had predicted, following the false intelligence fed through their compromised quantum viruses. Their formation split into three prongs, aiming for what they believed were weaknesses in Earth's defensive grid. Enemy fleet approaching optimal range, reported Captain Feng Wei, his hands steady on the tactical controls. Their weapons are charging, but they haven't detected our phase shift generators. Winters allowed herself a small smile. Humanity's newest defensive technology had been developed in absolute secrecy, tested in pocket dimensions where even quantum surveillance couldn't reach. The phase shift generators could temporarily move entire ships out of normal spacetime, making them effectively invulnerable. Multiple transmission attempts from the Zoraxian flagship, Communications Chief Rivera announced. They're demanding our surrender, claiming they've disabled our defensive capabilities. Let them think that, Winters replied. All ships prepare for Operation Phantom Strike, synchronize phase shift generators with quantum inverters. The Zoraxian fleet launched their first salvo, a devastating barrage of plasma torpedoes and quantum disruption beams that would have annihilated Earth's defenses if they had truly been compromised. Instead, the moment before impact, Earth ships shifted partially out of phase, allowing the attacks to pass harmlessly through them. Phase shift successful across all ships, Feng reported. Enemy showing signs of confusion, they're adjusting weapon frequencies. Now, Winters commanded, execute Phantom Strike. Earth's fleet suddenly phased back into normal space, but in different positions than before, appearing inside the Zoraxian formation. The alien ships, their weapons still calibrated for long-range engagement, couldn't adjust fast enough. All ships deploy quantum cascade warheads, Winters ordered. Target their command and control nodes. The quantum cascade warheads were humanity's masterstroke, weapons that created expanding fields of chaotic space-time, turning the Zoraxians' living metal against itself. Ships caught in the effect began to twist and fracture as their own regenerative capabilities went haywire. Direct hits on multiple enemy capital ships, Feng announced. Their biomechanical systems are failing. Wait, detecting massive energy spike from their flagship. The Zoraxian response was immediate and devastating. Their flagship, a behemoth nearly 20 kilometers long, unleashed a weapon that tore a hole in space itself, creating a massive gravitational vortex that began pulling in everything around it. They're trying to create an artificial black hole, Santos's voice cut through the command channel. The gravitational forces will tear apart the fleet. Not today, Winters growled. All ships emergency phase shift, redirect power to quantum inverters. Earth's fleet flickered out of normal space moments before the gravitational forces would have crushed them. The quantum inverters activated simultaneously, creating a complex network of inverted spacetime fields that contained and redirected the Zeraxian weapon's energy. Gravitational vortex is stabilizing, Feng reported. The quantum inverter network is holding. Wait, something's happening to their flagship. The massive alien vessel began to buckle as its own weapon's energy was reflected back at it, amplified by the quantum inverter network. The living metal of its hull writhed in apparent agony as gravitational forces tore it apart from within. All ships target their supporting fleet while they're distracted, Winters commanded. Full spectrum assault, no mercy. Earth's fleet unleashed everything they had: quantum torpedoes, phase-shifted plasma beams, and temporal disruption fields. The Zeraxian ships, their formations broken and their flagship dying, began to fall into disarray. Enemy fleet is retreating, Feng announced triumphantly. Multiple ships attempting emergency fold space jumps. Let them run, Winters ordered. But tag them with quantum trackers. I want to know where these bastards go to lick their wounds. As the surviving Zeraxian ships fled, Winters opened a channel to Admiral Patel. Phase 1 of Operation Phantom Strike complete, Admiral. The enemy fleet is in full retreat. Casualties minimal, and the phase shift technology performed beyond expectations. Well done, General, Patel responded. But this isn't over. They'll be back, and next time they'll be ready for our phase shift technology. We need to prepare for their response. Winters nodded grimly. Agreed, but now they know we're not the easy prey they thought we were, and next time we'll have even more surprises waiting for them. Doctor. Victoria Blackwood stood in her quantum laboratory deep beneath the Himalayan mountains, surrounded by holographic displays showing the analysis of Zeraxian technology. The captured fragments of their living metal writhed under containment fields, still trying to regenerate even weeks after the battle. Run the quantum resonance scan again, she instructed her research partner, Dr. Hikaru Tanaka. There's something we're missing about their molecular structure. The lab hummed with energy as advanced sensors probed the alien material. After the recent victory, Earth's leaders knew they had limited time before the Zeraxians returned with countermeasures to their phase shift technology. The race was on to develop the next breakthrough. Look at this, Tanaka said, highlighting a section of the scan. The molecular bonds aren't just regenerating, they're learning from each attack pattern. It's like some kind of quantum memory. Blackwood leaned closer, her cybernetic eyes zooming in on the molecular structure. That's why they were so confident. Their technology doesn't just repair itself, it evolves. A holographic communication window opened, showing Lieutenant Commander Santos's face. Dr. Blackwood, we've decoded more of the quantum virus signatures. The Zeraxians aren't just using them for infiltration, they're gathering tactical data on every engagement. Send me everything you've found, Blackwood replied, her mind racing with possibilities. And get me Admiral Patel. I think I know how we can turn this against them. Hours later, the highest-ranking members of Earth's defense forces gathered virtually in a quantum-secured conference. Blackwood stood before them, her presentation ready. The Zeraxians' greatest strength is their adaptive technology, she began. But it's also their weakness. Their living metal doesn't just evolve, it shares information across their entire fleet through quantum entanglement. Every ship learns from the experiences of all others. How does this help us? General Winters asked, her holographic form leaning forward with interest. Because we can use their own quantum network against them, Blackwood explained, bringing up complex mathematical models. I've developed what I call the quantum feedback loop. Instead of trying to destroy their ships, we can feed false evolutionary data into their living metal. Admiral Patel's expression turned thoughtful. You're suggesting we can corrupt their entire fleet's adaptive capabilities. Exactly, Blackwood confirmed. Every time they regenerate, they'll become weaker instead of stronger. Their ships will literally evolve themselves into destruction. The revelation sent ripples through the command staff. This wasn't just a defensive measure. It was a way to turn the Zoraxians' greatest advantage into their downfall. "How long to implement this?" Patel asked. "The prototype is ready for testing," Blackwood responded, gesturing to a complex device in her lab. "We've modified a quantum inverter to generate specific frequencies that will trigger their evolutionary protocols. Each pulse will implant corrupted data into their molecular structure." "Dr. Blackwood," Santos interjected, "could we combine this with the existing quantum virus network? Use their own infiltration system to deliver the corrupted evolution data?" "Brilliant," she agreed, quickly modifying her calculations. "Their ships would accept the data without question, thinking it came from their own fleet's experiences." The next several days were a blur of activity. Blackwood and her team worked tirelessly, integrating their quantum feedback loop with Earth's defensive systems. They ran countless simulations, fine-tuning the corrupted evolutionary data to ensure maximum effect. "Final test complete," Tanaka announced, examining the results. The captured living metal sample responded exactly as predicted, complete molecular breakdown within minutes of receiving the corrupted evolutionary data. Blackwood nodded, satisfaction mixing with grim determination. "Upload the protocols to all defense platforms. When the Zoraxians return, they'll find their greatest strength has become their greatest vulnerability." Admiral Patel's voice came through the quantum comm. "Long-range sensors have detected massive fold space disturbances. The Zoraxian fleet is returning, and it's 3 times larger than before. They think their adaptive technology will protect them from our phase-shift weapons," Blackwood said, initiating the final preparations for their trap. "Let them come. This time, evolution won't be on their side." As Earth's forces mobilized for the coming battle, Blackwood watched the defensive platforms power up with her new protocols. The Zoraxians had underestimated humanity's ability to understand and manipulate quantum mechanics. Now they would pay the price for that arrogance. "All systems are ready," she reported to Admiral Patel. "Operation Counter Protocol is active. Let's show them what happens when they force humanity to evolve." The massive Zoraxian armada emerged from fold space like a storm of living metal, their ships now twisted into more aggressive configurations. Supreme Overlord Nexus had committed the entire might of his empire to this final assault. Over 5,000 warships filled the space between Mars and Earth, their hulls crackling with enhanced weapons designed to counter humanity's phase-shift technology. Admiral Patel stood on the bridge of the EDF Hyperion, her expression calm despite the overwhelming odds. "All ships maintain position. Let them think their numbers give them the advantage." "Enemy fleet launching quantum probes," Lieutenant Chen reported. "They're testing our defenses." "Let them," General Winters responded from the EDF Prometheus. "Dr. Blackwood, status of the quantum feedback loop." "Ready and waiting," Blackwood's voice came through the secure channel. "The moment they attempt to analyze our defenses, the corrupted evolutionary data will begin spreading through their network." Supreme Overlord Nexus's image appeared on every screen in Earth's fleet, his multiple eyes gleaming with anticipated triumph. "Your resistance ends today. We have evolved beyond your pitiful tricks. Surrender now or watch your world burn." Patel's response was simple: "Initiate counter protocol." The battle began with a massive barrage from the Zoraxian fleet. Their weapons had indeed evolved, creating distortions in spacetime that could affect even phase-shifted vessels. Several Earth ships took direct hits, their crews fighting to maintain stability. "Multiple hull breaches on outer defense platforms," Santos reported from Lunar Base Alpha. "But the quantum viruses are active. Their ships are absorbing the corrupted data." At first, the changes were subtle. Zoraxian vessels attempting to regenerate from damage began developing unstable configurations. Their living metal twisted in unexpected ways, weapon ports sealed themselves shut, and hull plating began to fold inward. "It's working," Blackwood announced, monitoring the data streams. "Their adaptive technology is implementing our corrupted evolution protocols. Each regeneration cycle is making them weaker, not stronger." Supreme Overlord Nexus noticed too late what was happening. His flagship, once a marvel of biological engineering, started to collapse in on itself as its molecular structure devolved. "What have you done?" His voice roared across the communications channels. "Our evolution cannot be stopped." "You're right," Patel responded. "It can't be stopped, but it can be directed. General Winters, commence Operation Avalanche." Earth's fleet launched a coordinated assault, their weapons carefully calibrated to force the Xeraxian ships to regenerate. Each hit triggered another cycle of corrupted evolution, spreading the effect exponentially through their quantum-entangled network. "Enemy vessels showing critical structural failures," Chen reported. "Their entire command and control network is collapsing." The space around Earth lit up with the death throes of the mighty Xeraxian fleet. Ships that had conquered countless civilizations crumbled into twisted masses of devolved metal. Some attempted to flee into fold space, only to have their drives fail as the corrupted evolution spread to their core systems. "Supreme Overlord," Patel addressed the alien leader one final time, "you came here believing your evolution made you invincible. But you forgot something crucial about humanity. We don't just adapt to survive. We understand the very principles of adaptation itself." Nexus's flagship was among the last to fall, its once mighty form collapsing into a twisted sculpture of failed evolution. The few surviving Xeraxian vessels fled in panic, their retreat paths marked by trails of disintegrating living metal. As the dust settled, humanity's fleet regrouped around Earth. The cost had been high, dozens of ships damaged or destroyed, thousands of brave crew members lost. But Earth had stood against one of the most powerful forces in the galaxy and emerged victorious. "Begin recovery operations," Patel ordered, "and get me a secure channel to Earth's government. They need to know that this victory isn't just about survival. We've proven humanity's place among the stars." In her lab, Dr. Blackwood was already analyzing data from the battle, her mind racing with new possibilities. "The applications of this technology go far beyond defense," she told Admiral Patel. "We could revolutionize everything from medicine to space travel." "Agreed," Patel replied. "But first, let's make sure the galaxy understands one fundamental truth. Earth is not to be underestimated. We're not just another species to be conquered. We're humanity, and we've earned our place among the stars." As cleanup operations began, news of the victory spread throughout human space. The Xeraxian Empire, once thought invincible, had been defeated not just by humanity's weapons, but by its understanding of the very principles the enemy relied upon. It was a lesson the galaxy wouldn't soon forget: underestimate humanity at your own peril.